Why doesn't anybody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? I just saw a video about this, and it had literally never occurred to me that no one is talking about. We have not heard from or seen footage of anybody other than Erika and the freaking vice president and Usha anywhere involved in the situation.
Why doesn't anybody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? That's the question breaking the internet right now. Because when you look at this whole situation, the memorial, the speeches, the investigations, one thing becomes crystal clear. Charlie's family has been completely erased from the story. His widow is everywhere. The vice president showed up. Usha was there. Donald Trump presented a Presidential Medal of Freedom. But Charlie's own parents, his siblings, crickets. And when Dave Chappelle started asking why, he didn't just raise questions, he dropped bombs. Bombs about honeypots, FBI cover-ups, and a family that's been silenced. Girl, you better sit down for this one, because what I'm about to tell you will make you question everything you thought you knew about the Charlie Kirk case. The accusation. Dave Chappelle just threw himself straight into the middle of the storm surrounding Charlie Kirk's death. And he's not tiptoeing around it, he's going nuclear. According to sources close to Dave's recent performances, he's straight up accusing the FBI of twisting the entire story. Not just getting details wrong, not just moving slow, deliberately manufacturing a false narrative to keep people from digging deeper. Dave says the official report was never about truth. It was a smokescreen, a carefully crafted distraction designed to steer everyone away from asking the real uncomfortable questions. The memorial mister. And here's where it gets wild. Dave pointed out something that should have had everyone's alarm bells ringing from day one. Charlie Kirk's own parents didn't show up to his memorial service. Think about that for a second. Your son, young, successful, loved by millions, suddenly dies. And you don't attend his public memorial, you don't give a statement, you don't appear anywhere. That's not just strange, that's impossible, unless someone made sure they couldn't. But Dave didn't stop there. Oh no, he allegedly dropped the most explosive claim yet, that Charlie's parents have completely disowned and cut off Erika Kirk after discovering she was a plant, a honeypot. For those who don't know, a honeypot is intelligence terminology for someone usually attractive, usually charming, who's sent to get close to a target for manipulation or espionage purposes. Dave is claiming that's exactly what Erika was. Someone placed in Charlie's life to influence him, control his message, and steer one of the most powerful voices in conservative media exactly where certain powerful interests wanted him to go. And when his family found out, they cut her off completely. But by then it was too late. According to Dave, there's a massive government cover-up happening right now. He says federal authorities are keeping Charlie's parents metaphorically gagged, making absolutely sure they don't reveal what they supposedly know about Erika and her alleged involvement in what really went down. This isn't gossip anymore. This is a full-blown conspiracy thriller, and Dave Chappelle just lit the fuse. The ongoing investigation into Charlie Kirk's death has everyone giving the FBI serious side-eye right now, because the Bureau has been dropping information that just doesn't add up. Statements that contradict each other, timelines that shift, evidence that doesn't match the official story. It's got people wondering, is this incompetence or something way more intentional? They released footage of him supposedly fleeing the scene, dramatic stuff running across rooftops, leaping between buildings like some kind of action movie. But here's the problem. Tyler Robinson has partial paralysis in his right leg. That's not speculation, that's medical fact. His family confirmed it during FBI interrogations. They said they identified their son not from the photographs the FBI released, but from his distinctive limp, the unusual gait caused by his disability. So let me ask you something. How does a man with partial leg paralysis sprint across rooftops and pull off parkour-style moves? How does that footage make any sense? The family specifically told FBI interrogators that Tyler's limp wasn't because he had a rifle down his pants as some officials suggested. It was because he physically cannot use that leg normally. And those of us with working eyeballs already knew something was off about that footage. But this medical confirmation, it proves it. This also explains why we never saw a perp walk, why the FBI only released still photos instead of video of Tyler in custody, why they only showed him limping one time, and conveniently, it was when he was supposedly fleeing. When these inconsistencies came to light, the internet did what it does best. It became its own detective agency. People launched private investigations. They combed through old footage of Tyler Robinson, finding clips where he's clearly struggling to walk, where his right leg gives out, where he needs support just to move normally. They built timelines, cross-referenced witness statements, analyzed camera angles, compared screenshots frame by frame, and every single piece of evidence pointed to the same conclusion. The official story doesn't hold water. Candace Owens stepped into the chaos, and she didn't come to play. She came with receipts. Candace was close to Charlie Kirk. They shared stages, shared audiences, shared a mission. So when she started questioning the official narrative, people listened, and what she said next tore apart the FBI's story piece by piece. One of the first things Candace called out was the FBI's claim that Tyler Robinson had been turned in by his own father. She said that's complete cap, total nonsense. According to her sources, Tyler wasn't turned in at all. He was caught during a full-blown tactical raid. Federal agents surrounded the place he shared with his partner and took him by force. That's a very different story than concerned father calls the cops, isn't it? Then Candace went after that viral rooftop footage. She pointed out what everyone was thinking, but the mainstream media refused to acknowledge. Tyler Robinson's medical condition makes that footage physically impossible. She brought receipts, old medical reports, photos showing Tyler wearing a leg brace, documentation of his partial paralysis. Taking that shot and sprinting off like in that video, Candace said, totally impossible. He couldn't have pulled off that kind of move, no matter what. And you know what happened next? The internet went full forensic mode. Within hours, people found old videos of Tyler at public events, clearly struggling with mobility, clips of him trying to run, and his leg giving out, footage that backed up everything Candace was saying. Suddenly, her claims weren't just accusations, they were verifiable facts. The question became, why were federal authorities so quick to pin this on Tyler Robinson when the physical evidence doesn't support their story? Why did they release footage that their own interrogations would later contradict? Why stage this whole narrative if Tyler was really guilty? People started asking, who was really behind what happened to Charlie Kirk? And why is the government so desperate to make sure we believe a story that doesn't make sense? The speech that raised eyebrows. While questions about Tyler Robinson swirled, another figure was drawing intense scrutiny, Erika Kirk. Just days after Charlie's death, Erika gave a speech that went viral for all the wrong reasons. People watched her tone, her body language, her facial expressions, and many said something felt off. She didn't come across like someone torn apart by grief. She looked composed, measured. Some said it felt like a performance. Where's the emotion? Where's the pain? Those were the questions flooding comment sections everywhere. Now, to be fair, plenty of people rushed to defend her. They said grief doesn't look the same on everyone. Not everyone breaks down on camera. Maybe Erika was staying strong because that's what Charlie would have wanted, but others weren't buying it. They called her calmness too calm, almost chilling. They rewatched the video over and over, analyzing every word, every pause, every gesture. Then came the memorial, and the moment that broke the internet. When Erika Kirk walked onto that stage for Charlie's memorial, people said it looked less like a grieving widow and more like a star making a grand entrance. Cameras flashed, her posture was confident, her expression was calm, and then came the hug with President Trump, a moment that instantly became its own controversy. Some saw a warm gesture of comfort, others saw something that felt rehearsed, too polished, too comfortable for the circumstances. The photo spread everywhere. Body language experts on TikTok analyzed it frame by frame. Millions of views, thousands of theories, and one question: what was really going on? The medal ceremony. Then came another ceremony, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, awarded to Charlie posthumously on what would have been his birthday. Trump's voice echoed through the hall. Today, as we honor Charlie with this incredible Presidential Medal of Freedom on his birthday, I see her with tears and just a humbled heart and spirit, because his story reminds us all that to live free is the greatest gift, but to die free is the greatest victory. Erika stood there, teary-eyed yet composed, accepting the medal on Charlie's behalf. She said she'd spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. On camera, it looked touching. Behind the scenes, it raised more eyebrows. The parents' absence, because here's what people noticed. Charlie's parents didn't arrive with Erika. According to witnesses, they didn't speak to her, didn't look at her, stayed on completely opposite sides of the room. The physical distance matched the emotional chasm, and people online couldn't stop asking, why? Throughout all of this, the theories, the investigations, the ceremonies, Charlie Kirk's parents and siblings have been completely silent. No interviews, no statements, no public appearances. They've been erased from the narrative while Erika dominated every headline, every camera shot, every tribute. And according to Dave Chappelle, that's not by accident. The alleged discovery. Dave claims that things between Erika and Charlie's family went downhill fast after his death. He says they completely fell out. No calls, no visits, no contact whatsoever. The tension had been building even before Charlie died, Dave says. But after his passing, when the family allegedly discovered the truth about who Erika really was, everything exploded. The memorial exclusion, here's where it gets dark. Dave alleges that Erika didn't even invite Charlie's family to his memorial. His own parents and siblings left out of their son's public farewell. And since the memorial was reportedly coordinated with federal oversight, Erika had real influence over the guest list. She had the power to decide who was in and who wasn't. Dave's implying this wasn't just personal beef. It was about keeping secrets, about controlling the narrative, about making sure certain people couldn't speak. The honeypot theory deepens. According to Dave, Charlie's family discovered that Erika wasn't just his widow. She was allegedly a plant. Someone with connections to foreign intelligence, someone with access to private communications, someone who may have known what was about to happen before it did. And then, in the aftermath, she ends up as the new CEO of Turning Point USA, Charlie's organization, his life's work, now in her hands. Dave says there's active government suppression happening right now, pressure on Charlie's parents not to speak out, not to share what they know, not to expose what really happened. The internet has been on fire with reactions. Comment sections everywhere are filled with people questioning Erika's every move. Always feel Erika Kirk's tears are fake, one person wrote. She owned a homeless service before Charlie, total political move. Others pointed out she's never mentioned Charlie's parents, not once. And the thing that really sent people over the edge, when she publicly forgave the person accused of killing Charlie before his body was even laid to rest. One viewer wrote, "Weird. As someone who wasn't even a fan of Charlie Kirk, it breaks my heart to see his parents' love being drowned out by Erika and whatever campaigning she's doing now." Another chimed in, "I feel so bad for Charlie Kirk's parents and sister. It's honestly heartbreaking." And that's the energy all over social media right now: confusion, sadness, and a growing sense that something just doesn't add up. People keep asking, did Charlie even have a close relationship with his parents? And if he did, why are they being silenced while Erika is everywhere? Think about the timeline. 1 minute, Erika is the grieving widow. The next, she's sitting in the CEO chair of Turning Point USA, running the entire operation. It happened so fast it didn't even feel natural. And when Dave Chappelle says she was allegedly promoted by the people pulling strings behind the scenes, that she was put in power to control Charlie's legacy and message, that's when the conspiracy theories really started catching fire. Let's break down everything that's making people suspicious. 1, Charlie Kirk's parents have been completely missing from the public eye since the incident. No statements, no appearances, nothing. 2, the FBI's story about Tyler Robinson doesn't match the physical evidence. A man with partial leg paralysis can't do parkour. 3, Erika Kirk went from widow to CEO at lightning speed while Charlie's family was shut out. 4, Dave Chappelle, someone with no reason to lie and a reputation for truth-telling, is accusing the FBI of a deliberate cover-up. 5, Candace Owens brought receipts that directly contradict the official narrative. 6, the memorial had Charlie's widow and political figures, but not his own parents. Why hasn't anyone from Charlie's family spoken publicly? Why did federal authorities push a story about Tyler Robinson that their own evidence contradicts? Why did Erika Kirk rise to power so quickly? And why does everyone who asks these questions get shut down? Dave Chappelle says it's because someone's making sure the truth never fully surfaces, that the silence feels coordinated, that crucial questions are being buried on purpose. If Erika really was a honeypot, someone placed in Charlie's life to control him, it would explain everything. It would explain why she's suddenly in charge of his organization, why his family won't speak to her, why she seems so comfortable in the spotlight, why federal authorities might want to protect her identity and mission. It would explain why Charlie's parents are being kept silent. Because if they spoke out, if they revealed what they know, the entire house of cards would collapse. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I am here to point out what doesn't make sense. A young man with partial leg paralysis allegedly commits an act that would require full athletic ability. Federal authorities push that story despite evidence to the contrary. A widow becomes a CEO overnight while the deceased's own family disappears from public view. A comedian known for truth-telling accuses the FBI of running a cover-up operation. At what point do we stop calling it coincidence and start calling it what it looks like? Tampadamaji. This isn't just about Charlie Kirk anymore, it's about how information gets controlled, how narratives get manufactured, how families can be silenced while official stories get amplified. It's about honeypots and intelligence operations playing out in plain sight, about powerful interests deciding which voices get heard and which get buried. Charlie Kirk was one of the most influential conservative voices in America. He had millions of followers. He shaped political discourse, and now he's gone. His organization is under new management, and his family can't or won't speak. So here's my question to you. What do you think really happened? Were Charlie's family pushed into the shadows, or did they choose to disappear? Was Erika Kirk a loving wife or something else entirely? Is the FBI covering something up, or are we all just connecting dots that don't exist? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this with your crew, because this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. The truth might be buried, but it's not gone. And every person who asks questions, who shares information, who refuses to accept the official story, they're bringing us one step closer to finding it. This has been Star Scoop. Thanks for watching. And remember, when they want you to stop asking questions, that's exactly when you need to keep asking.